The Las Vegas Raiders were able to find their edge rusher of the future last night in the first round with pick number 7, selecting Texas Tech defensive end Tyree Wilson, the first round pick in the Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler era, because they traded away their first round pick and second round pick last year for Devontae Adams. However, there is a bombshell report that just came out this morning, which says a lot about how the Raiders value a player that still may be available and what in fact they tried to do last night. According to NBC and according to CBS, we're going to break all this down. The Raiders, along with the Titans and the Falcons, tried to trade back into the bottom of the first round last night. They desperately tried to trade back into the bottom of the first round last night because there was a player available and still could be a player available there last night who they believe could be a serious contributor to the team. Who knows exactly what the Raiders are trying to give up to go and grab that player, how much draft compensation, or maybe even a player that they tried to give up to grab whoever this next draft pick could be. But perhaps they did not give up enough because they think the player may still be available for the Raiders. Along with this report from NBC that the Raiders were desperately trying to move back into the first round, you also have CBS saying that this report is real and also backing it up, saying that the Titans, Raiders, and Falcons were jockeying to move back into the end of the first round, and the appetite should still be there a day later. Jonathan Jones by CBS, the appetite should still be there a day later, meaning that the player that they wanted should still be available, and I think that is why the Raiders did not offer up too much. And if they were desperate, you would think they would make the trade happen, but instead, they're sitting back. Keep in mind, the Raiders are picking at pick 38, the 7th pick in the second round today, so they could probably still get their guy, and who could that guy be? Well, a lot of people think, including Jonathan Jones of CBS, that it could be a quarterback, and that the thought is that one or more, so we got 3 teams, one or more, at least 2 of 3, one or more of those teams are interested in Mayo, Mr. Mayo, Will Levis, the quarterback out of Kentucky. We know Will Levis was falling last night. Nobody in the first round selected this guy. He looked upset, pissed off about the situation, but we've seen a lot of great quarterbacks go in the second round and a lot of great quarterbacks fall. I remember the last franchise quarterback of the Raiders was selected in the second round, Derek Carr out of Fresno State, and I think he was much better than Blake Bortles and Johnny Manziel, who were taken in the first round. So look, there is a possibility that Will Levis falls to the Raiders. Maybe the Raiders like Henson Hooker more than Will Levis. Personally, I think Will Levis has more experience in a pro-style offense. I think he's younger and more athletic than Henson Hooker right now and does not have as bad of injury concerns. So there's that issue too, but the Raiders could either want Henson Hooker or Will Levis, and the fact that they're falling to the second round, perhaps pick 38, this could be a steal for the Raiders. You're getting not only a quarterback of the future and clearly a great backup quarterback, at least for this year for Jimmy G, but you're getting them on that second round contract. When you have a QB on that cheap contract, you can be like the Philadelphia Eagles and completely stack the rest of your team with your cap space, completely stack the defense. Now, we're going to take a look at some of these other players that could be available for the Raiders in the second and third round. Hondo Carpenter of Sports Illustrated here. Yes, the Raiders do have 3 picks today, pick 38 like we mentioned, and third round pick 70 and 100. So there's going to be a lot of action right now. We'll see what it could be. And so like we mentioned, the Raiders could grab Will Levis. He is still available right now. They could also look for a tight end and Michael Mayer. Maybe they wanted a tight end and Dalton Kincaid, and that's what they tried to do trading up last night, but the Bills snagged him. However, I think they would probably wait till the later rounds to grab their tight end because they already have Austin Hooper and OJ Howard. Luke Musgrave would be a great receiving tight end for the Raiders. Brian Branch, some people do have a first round grade on him. He's a versatile safety out of Alabama, can play in the slot as well, and you know that Patrick Graham likes safeties in the slot. Joey Porter Jr., a lot of people rated this guy as a first round corner, and it's not exactly happening. Has that 4.46 40-yard dash speed, and yeah, I think he could be a great steal for the Raiders if they grab him with pick 38. I would be content with Joey Porter Jr., Will Levis, or Dalton Kincaid, perhaps Henson Hooker. However, I'm not high on Henson Hooker. Did not have a sophisticated offense in college. I think he has more of a learning curve than a lot of people realized, but he is still available if the Raiders think, hey, this guy can still work for me. This guy's still athletic. Maybe they think he just has better tools than somebody like Will Levis. That is a possibility. Another option too that the Raiders can go is Darnell Washington, the tight end out of Georgia. A lot of people like this guy. He's huge blocker, not too much of a receiving threat yet, but he can develop in that area, but man, is he huge. So Raiders have a lot of great options, and it would be hard for them to mess this up. Keely Ringo, I think he can be a great cornerback, has that that 4.3 40-yard dash speed and actually had a top 30 visit with the Raiders. So, you know, the first round, I did not like the pick. I think it's a reach. And not that I don't like the pick. I think Tyree Wilson's a great player. Let me make this clear. I like Tyree Wilson as a player. I think he's going to be a great defensive end in the NFL. I don't like the fact that we're wasting money on Chandler Jones and paying somebody $25, $30 million to ride the bench. That's essentially what we're doing with Chandler Jones. So the reason why I don't like the pick is because it shows how much we failed in free agency last year. And I would have liked to see the Raiders grab somebody like Jalen Carter to complement Chandler Jones. Because even if Chandler Jones is average, if we got Jalen Carter, you're going to be in a good place. But Tyree Wilson is still going to have to get back to 100%. He expects to be ready by training camp, but he did battle some injuries towards the end of last year. Should not be too big of a deal though. And ultimately, when we're looking at 2024, is Tyree Wilson going to be amazing for the Raiders then with Max Crosby? Yes. However, in 2023, I think it's a little of an excess at one position. Either way, man, we're going to be dropping videos about who the Raiders pick, and we're going to be going live recapping everything that happens. Let me know in the comments below who you think the Raiders were trying to trade back into the first round for. Is that player still available? Could it be a quarterback, a corner? Who knows? Or were they already selected by another team? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.